Hello, Lunas here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing the Rimworld run. Sorry if there are any issues with the recording. My recording software reset itself for some reason, so I'm hoping I managed to fix everything properly. So right at the end of the last episode, we defeated a Sanguiphage and their thralls. We are currently working on recruiting said Sanguiphage. I'm not sure that I will transfer their gene to anyone else because I believe it kills them in the process. And honestly, I kind of like a 6th person, considering we have been struggling with some of the more recent raids. And then we also received a monument quest. The rewards are okay, but we have to protect it for nearly a year, and the plan is to move on as soon as possible, so I don't think that we're gonna be able to really settle anywhere for that amount of time. One of the jobs that does need doing though is gathering of wood, because reaching this map has drained the majority of our resources to rebuild our fuel stockpile. I would give for some boomalopes right now. Sam receives a taming inspiration, though there aren't any animals on the map that I would like to get. A real tribute collector arrives on the map, and we don't really have anything to give them. Besides, we'll most likely be leaving within the next couple of hours, with only 8 hours left on the engine cooldown. Hopefully we can avoid overheating the engines with the next flight, and that should allow for hopefully less time spent waiting around on the next map. The goal of this episode will be to reach the asteroid and begin work on upgrading the ship. And with the Gargantuan ready to launch again, we begin work on that immediately. we settled the ship down next to a river and lake, with some small hills nearby as well, granting a lot of natural defense. The ship has also landed for the first time, I believe, without an incident, which just goes to show how much our pilots are improving. On this map as well, we have a lot of wood, which is great for the fuel production of the ship. Due to chem fuel using a lot more wood than it produces in chem fuel, with a ratio of 2 to 1, I will make an increased build to store chem fuel while we're on such a bountiful map. And once we leave, I will suspend it, aiming for the lower end of fuel production, being the acceptable 400 margin. I didn't collect the rice from the previous map, or at least I don't remember collecting it. But that's fine, as our goal is to move around as quickly as possible. And this map has a lot of fertile soil, meaning we can plant rice even quicker on this map. The colonists will gather to manually hunt down a nearby bear. And with its death almost guaranteed, we leave it alone for the time being, as we are now being raided by some Neanderthals. Not a huge group of them, and we should be able to snipe them from range, considering they are all melee. Sam is reliably landing shots already, so hopefully these raiders shouldn't prove too much of a threat. 2 are dead already. And Lips and Tree are only just coming into range. We have our long-range team fallback, while the close-range team cover fires for them. And the raiders are easily dealt with, Sam having killed 4 of them by herself. She's proving to be a massive value to the colony in terms of combat capability now, especially with her legendary weapon. The bear seems to be doing a good job of keeping Shio and Kiko happy, and being able to pick that up from that map was definitely a massive bonus for us, considering the current move penalties we're dealing with, especially on Shio. Crafter has been recruited to our Idea Legion, and now we work on their recruitment to the colony. They take their first Hemogen pack, and our stores look fine for the time being, but while things are fairly quiet, I may just queue up a bunch of Hemogen operations, just so that we have the storage, as I do not plan on taking any prisoners to act as Hemogen farms. Additionally, we need to get the rice field down as quickly as possible. Only one set of rice will be grown, and as such, it will be a large field. The plan for the rice is abandoned due to the temperature. I had not realized that it was winter already, but a wild boar does go mad, so we're able to deal with it for some extra food. While it is winter, we should probably work on satiating the colony's appetite with primarily just meat. It may also be a good idea to research pemmican so that we can extend the lifespan of our rice and meat by producing more food. A number of animals are queued up to be hunted, and we will try and hunt as much game as possible while on this map. In addition to that, some nearby hill root will also be harvested. Chem fuel production is halted for the time being, so that Tree can focus on getting the pemmican research done. And once that is finished, she will go back to fuel production. Meanwhile, Kiko had been on a mental break, and a flash storm strikes nearby. A leathery stranger approaches the colony. They are a tortured artist, but have good stats across construction, mining, and melee, with passions in them as well. They have a double passion on artistic, and have the psychic slaughter ability, a power that induces a reconfigurement of flesh. It will kill a flesh creature and converts it into twisted flesh, a material used in the Anomaly DLC. Their health looks fine as well, and their age is good. I am kind of tempted to take them on, considering the pemmican research will considerably improve our food situation, especially if we stay slightly longer than necessary in order to get the additional meat. And to do that, we are going to need extra hands. So I think I will accept. By the way it's worded, it sounds like this person could join us permanently, though that's not guaranteed. We will put them to work though, and they will act as a general worker. With more of a focus on hauling, as the ship does not seem to be struggling in the cleanliness area, to be honest. And they can have a regular schedule. Until I have a more permanent base, or a more upgraded base, I don't really have any plans to change the scheduling. Actually, Throb will be put on a night shift, as they are a dirt mole, and that should remove a negative 12 for the sunlight sensitivity. Considering they're a tortured artist as well, that would have been a permanent minus 20 to mood, which is a pretty big penalty. Kiko is tended for his fibrous mechanites again, and I'm hoping within the next few days that should wear off. As for the next thing we want to sort out, it is figuring out how to make hunter drones. I'm assuming that the packs are made at a machining table, although it doesn't say. A quest becomes available for paid defense, and will consist of a raid of 15 enemies, times 2, so a total of 30 enemies, which I'm not sure we can handle. That being said, we're going to be raided anyway by a total of 12 enemies. Sam and Lips will be sent to deal with the southern group. Though they have decided to attack early. The western group is attacking as well, and if they're able to converge on us, we could be wiped out. Tree is caught out of position. And with issues with movement, she needs to be covered. Things quickly turn into a melee, with having to run to Tree's aid due to her poor timing, though things are looking fine with no major permanent injuries. We luckily are able to quickly kill baseliners now with our guns, even though they're not exactly the best quality. The Gargantuan is ready to launch again, however some trees are being cut down first, so that we can produce fuel while on the move. The Pemmican research is sadly not yet ready, although the next places we'll be traveling to will be a lot greener, and hopefully more lush with animal life. With the next location potentially being within range of the ship, we need space capabilities as soon as possible. And to do that, we need a slight extension of the ship to allow some vac barriers to be placed outside of our doorways. The vac barriers being able to keep in the oxygen aboard the ship and prevent it from leaking into space, and the oxygen pump producing the much needed oxygen for our colonists' survival. A small group of travelers that want to trade arrive, so we will trade with them quickly. The EMP launcher and light machine gun will be sold to them, as well as some of our poor quality weapons. And a cache of valuables quest becomes available, but I'm not really interested in it. Our ship is now ready to launch though. For some reason there is a curve to the range here. That doesn't matter, as we have access to an asteroid now. Okay, so we need heating. And to do that, we are going to need to increase the amount of power aboard the ship. Okay, so those heaters can go in there. And a couple more oxygen pumps will be placed throughout the ship. A herd of yak are located to the south and will be hunted down for food. They're completely safe, so we don't need to worry about the colonists struggling against them. And with our pemmican research finally here, we can mass produce pemmican for a extended stay while we grab the vac stone and any other resources that we might want. The next research though will now be flak armor. And builds for pemmican will be prioritized over everything else until we run out of either meat or vegetarian ingredients. There seems to be enough power now, with the heaters not taking up as much as I expected them to. It looks like we are keeping the ship at a stable 17 to 20 degrees. And with the final animal aboard the ship, we can attempt a launch again. And we will see if there are any problems this time. The ship lands within a small incline within the rock area, and Throbs and Lips go at it again, their rivalry continuing. I'm unsure whether colonists will go outside without vac suits. It seems I can draft them to go outside. I'm unsure about their pathing, but just in case, I will make a ship-only area for the people who do not have vac suits. Right, that looks about right. And Geo, Sam, and Throb are not allowed out. However, the vac suits on our other colonists are looking okay, to be honest. That's good news. We're going to move these charges around to some better locations. As they'll be good for when raiders attack. With few boots on the ground of the asteroid, we need defenses, as this could become a fairly drawn out mission with only 3 people capable of working outside. a stone cutting bench needs to be set up indoors as well to process the vac stone, as well as a small dumping stockpile so that we can have the outside team hauling vac stone inside. Additionally, while we're here, we'll be looking into the plasteel that the asteroid is apparently rich in. Sealed crate. We'll deconstruct these and see if they give anything. Oh, mechanoid chip chunks give gravelite panels. That's huge. We'll have Kiko open the sealed crate and see if there's anything good inside. A Archean seed. And this is an Archean tree. A tree bioengineered to terraform dead worlds and early stage Rimworlds. The tree hosts a special microbial community in its roots, which enriches nearby terrain into rich soil. The trees are hardy enough to survive in the vacuum of space and produce a small amount of oxygen. Okay. Surmime. I can't speak, but yeah, survive. So, they convert soil into rich soil. That's really good. Which means, can you grow in space? Wait, no, you can't, can you? It's like minus 75. Of course you can't. Okay. Well, we can plant it at a permanent base when we find one. It's also pretty valuable as well, so we could sell it if we wanted to. The plasteel is finished mining by the early morning, and we set up some strip mining work to be done nearby. Double checking the condition of the ship, we can see that the temperature is remaining stable, which is great, and there seems to be no issues with oxygen. Sam butchers a yak to stop it from rowing, and we check over the other animals as well, seeing we have to butcher another of the yaks and having to increase the amount of meat in storage in order to do so. The donkeys are around half a day away from rowing, so we really need to speed up on cooking. In order to do so, the food will be dropped on the floor and the other colonists can work on that, considering 2 are trapped within the ship with her. Sam has inspired recruitment, and that is great news considering Crafter is still at nearly 53 resistance, so we will have Sam become a temporary warden, and when she gets a spare minute from her extremely busy schedule, we will have her prioritize crafting a crafter and his recruitment. The male colonists receive a psychic soothe, giving them a nice bonus of... Apparently the psychic soothe doesn't work in space. Gives Sam a quick break to build up her recreation, as her got married bonus has gone away now. A quest to meet up with the Pigskin faction has been offered, and I may consider it, considering they are kind of annoying to fight. It is essentially directly below us. Although I do want to be able to head to the next area for ship parts. The hold is full of pemmican now though, basically everywhere. We will need to have her wake up slightly early to continue working, but that's fine. She's done a great job for the colony with that, and then afterwards she can recruit Crafter. Right, it looks like none of the meat will go to waste. So we will have Sam interact with Crafter by having her be the only warden for the next few hours. Now that all of the meat has been used, the rice bill will be suspended, as that's our only food ingredient left. And they will give plus 16 range for every one we install. Only 50 Vaxstone, but they take up a lot more steel. And we don't have all that much. So some small extensions will go on the side, and then we will build 2 large thrusters. And then once we are... Actually, Sam has recruited Crafter, so she can now go back to her other jobs, and Crafter can join and work on growing and art, and Shio will assist with crafting instead of doing art. Crafter will help with cleaning, and we will now replace Shio with Crafter on the artistic table. It seems Lips had lost a lung at some point and I hadn't noticed. We'll need to extend outward bridges to reach the other thruster locations. Well, we're at a fairly quiet point in the video though, and with most of the goals sorted for this episode, I will end here. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I will see you next time.